In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 WNBA games happening on August 1st, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 WNBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Golden State Valkyries versus Chicago Sky. The Chicago Sky, sitting at a rough 7-19, are hosting the Golden State Valkyries in this non-conference matchup under the lights in the Windy City on Friday night, and it's bound to be a gritty battle even if the records don't scream excitement. Handicapping this one feels off after digging into those packed injury lists that just keep growing, leaving both sides short-handed in ways that could swing things wildly. The Sky haven't exactly been lighting it up even when everyone's healthy, scraping by with inconsistent play and too many holes on both ends, and things only get tougher now that they're missing key pieces like Reese and Atkins, plus maybe a few more who are questionable and could sit out at the last minute. Meanwhile, the Valkyries are riding high after pulling off a couple of gritty road victories, knocking off the Mystics and the Dream in upsets that showed they've got real fight and can steal games away from home when it counts. This matchup lines up as one they ought to handle without too much trouble, especially if they're locked in and treating it like a must-win to keep building towards something bigger. The Valkyries can't afford to let this slip away and stall out their recent gains, not if they're dead set on pushing for a playoff spot in a crowded field where every game matters down the stretch. Chicago's dealing with a beat-up roster that's left them scrambling, and their defense has been all over the place, leaking points and failing to clamp down when teams start heating up. I'm not exactly lining up to throw money down on this one right away, since the Valkyries haven't always delivered when favored, struggling to cover spreads in those rare spots where they've been expected to roll, and sometimes letting games stay too close for comfort. That said, whether Angel Reese suits up or not, the Sky have fallen back into a rut where they're getting hammered more nights than not, unable to string together stops or runs that turn the tide, and I see Golden State piling on here to make it another long night for Chicago and deepen their slide. As our first pick for this matchup, the Golden State Valkyries to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Chicago's offense has been stuck in neutral pretty much all year, grinding through games without much firepower and often looking lost when it comes to putting the ball in the basket consistently. They're hovering near the bottom of the league in scoring, ranking next to last in points per game while sitting 11th in overall field goal percentage and a mediocre 10th in threes made each outing, which means they're not stretching defenses or cashing in on open looks like the top teams do. Now they step into a tough spot facing off against the Valkyries' stingy defense, which tops the WNBA in shutting down field goal attempts and making every shot feel contested from start to finish. Golden State's guards and wings are locked in on the outside, swarming shooters and forcing tough angles that kill perimeter rhythm. And with Reese sidelined, the Sky's interior game takes a big hit, leaving them even more limited in the paint where they can't bully their way to easy buckets or second chances. Add it all up, and this shapes up as a game where runs are hard to come by, with both sides likely trading misses and grinding out possessions in a slog that keeps the final tally on the low side. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Phoenix Mercury versus Atlanta Dream. The Phoenix Mercury, holding a 16-10 record, are set to face off against the Atlanta Dream, who sit at 16-11 in this non-conference WNBA matchup on Friday, and it's shaping up to be a close one with both teams hovering around similar win totals as the season pushes forward. You could argue for backing the Mercury here since they're finally looking healthy for the first time in a while, with Satu Sabali, Alyssa Thomas, and Kaylia Copper all back in the lineup together, giving them that full-strength vibe they've been missing amid the injuries and absences that plagued them earlier. But honestly, even with everyone suited up and ready, that reunited group hasn't exactly translated into a string of victories for Phoenix, as they've stumbled in recent outings and failed to capitalize on the talent boost, leaving them vulnerable against teams that are clicking right now. Meanwhile, the Dream remain a tough, reliable outfit that's been holding their own, fresh off yet another gritty performance where they took down the Wings with smart play and timely stops, showing they're in good form and ready ready to scrap at home against anyone. As our first pick for this matchup, the Atlanta Dream to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Mercury just came out of a wild, high-scoring battle that racked up 208 total points against Indiana, but expect them to come crashing back to reality with a much quieter output in this one, dialing things down after that outlier explosion. Both squads bring some serious size and presence down low, which is bound to drag the pace to a crawl and turn this into more of a grind than a track meet, limiting fast breaks and easy buckets. On the Phoenix side, you've got Alyssa Thomas and Satu Sabali who thrive on working the ball inside, pounding away in the paint with deliberate moves that chew up the clock as they set up post-ups and look for high-percentage shots close to the rim. Atlanta counters with Jonquel Jones and Brittany Griner doing much the same, anchoring their attack with patient interior play that forces defenses to collapse and slows everything to a half-court slog. As home underdogs, the Dream will lean into that style even more, happy to control the tempo, clamp down on possessions, and make every trip down floor a battle, keeping the overall scoring in check and preventing any big runs from either side. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Liberty versus Connecticut Sun. The New York Liberty, sitting at 17-9 and holding down second place, are hoping to break out of their recent slump with a road victory this Friday as they head over to face the Connecticut Sun in what could be a turning point for their season. The Sun have this habit of disappointing me right when I start believing in them the most. But let's face it, the Liberty seem completely off track without Brianna Stewart in the mix. And sure, I won't hold that tough loss to the Lynx against them too much, but it does make me think they're getting way too much credit here, throwing out a hefty line just because Connecticut's the opponent on the schedule. We all get that the Connecticut Sun have been straight up bad, no surprise there, and they've taken some real beatings along the way without putting up much fight. That said, the Liberty haven't figured things out away from home all year, stumbling through games on the road like they can't get in sync, and now their list of banged up players is only getting longer, adding more headaches to an already shaky situation. On top of that, the Liberty have flat out dropped 2 of their past 4 when they were supposed to dominate as double-digit favorites, failing to close the deal even with the odds stacked in their favor. Just to note, the Sun have actually hung tough in spots like this, covering the spread in 10 of their last 16 as big underdogs, showing they can keep it closer than expected against stronger teams. As our first pick for this matchup, the Connecticut Sun to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Lately, the over has been hitting hard for these teams, cashing in 5 of New York's previous 6 outings overall, 7 of their last 8 when playing away, and 4 of Connecticut's most recent 5 games, pointing to a clear pattern of higher scores that aren't slowing down anytime soon. The Liberty lead the league in putting up points, lighting up defenses night after night with sharp shooting and quick transitions that pile on the buckets, while the Sun rank near the bottom in stopping anyone, giving up way too many easy looks and letting opponents run wild. Sure, Connecticut might not rack up a ton on their end, struggling to find consistent offense without key pieces clicking, but New York should have no trouble dropping plenty of their own and driving the final tally well past the line all by themselves. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Indiana Fever versus Dallas Wings. The Indiana Fever, holding a 15-12 record, are heading down to American Airlines Center this Friday night to square off against the Dallas Wings in what should be a lively matchup as both teams push through the season. The Fever have turned things around nicely in the past week, rattling off 3 wins in a row to build some real momentum and get back into the groove after a bumpy stretch. Meanwhile, the Wings keep running into walls when it comes to putting together consistent stretches of good play, often looking sharp one game and flat the next. Sure, backing Dallas at home with their knack for easy scores has its draw, but Indiana has already taken care of business against them twice this year, winning outright and covering the line each time without much drama. You just can't count on the Wings to show up the same way every night. They'll flash like a team that could sneak into the playoffs one moment, then get blown out by 26 to a powerhouse like the Aces the next, making them too unpredictable to trust here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Indiana Fever to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Digging into how these teams operate, both are pushing the tempo hard, with Indiana sitting 4th across the league at a brisk 96.53 pace that keeps defenses scrambling, while Dallas isn't far behind in 5th at 96.15, ensuring plenty of up and down action that wears out opponents quick. What really amps up the scoring potential is their skill at crashing the glass for second chances, turning misses into fresh opportunities without letting the play die. Indiana ranks 5th overall with a solid 31.1% on offensive rebounds, hauling in those loose balls to reset and attack again. But Dallas tops the entire WNBA at 35.9%, dominating the boards like no one else and extending possessions that often lead to extra points in bunches. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Sparks versus Seattle Storm. The 2025 WNBA season keeps rolling on Friday, August 1st with the Los Angeles Sparks facing off against the Seattle Storm in a Western Conference battle at Climate Pledge Arena up in Seattle, Washington. The Sparks have stepped up their game big time these past few weeks, clawing their way back into the mix for a playoff spot after looking out of it earlier. Getting Cameron Brink back in the lineup should shore up their front court and add some real muscle down low, but their defense remains a glaring weak spot that's costing them night after night. Los Angeles has let opponents drop at least 86 points in all but one of their last 10 games across the board, leaking like a sieve and struggling to get stops when it matters most. Seattle stands out as a way stronger defensive unit than Los Angeles, hands down, which is why I'm riding with the Storm to pull out the win and cover the number here at home. They've got the tools to clamp down on the perimeter and make life tough for shooters, leading the league by allowing the fewest threes per game at just 7, which shuts down a lot of easy scoring chances right from the jump. In their first head-to-head this season, the Sparks shot a rough 6 for 22 from beyond the arc, while the Storm drained 13 of 30 from deep, showing how that range can swing a game big time. On top of that, Los Angeles gives up 9.2 triples per contest on average, leaving the door wide open for teams that can knock down shots from outside. As our first pick for this matchup, the Seattle Storm to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. On the defensive end, the Storm rank among the top squads in the whole WNBA, locking things down and forcing tough looks, but whenever they tangle with the Sparks, it's the scoring that steals the show, with the over cashing in 8-2 over their last 10 clashes and Seattle putting up an average of 94 points against Los Angeles going all the way back to last year. For the Sparks, the over has hit in 8 of their past 10 games straight up, while they've been giving up an average of 89 points per outing in their last 5 on the road, letting teams run up the score without much pushback. As for the Storm, the over's gone 4-6 in their recent 10, but they've still crossed 80 or more in 6 of those, keeping the offense humming enough to contribute when the pace picks up. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.